We'll do it peacefully. Jeff Jones, who, by the way, is the co-founder, William Ayers and Jeff Jones, the co-founder of the Weather Underground. Those guys say, no, blood and guns, and they go this way, okay? This guy, see, this is his rap sheet or his fingerprints. This guy's still in the system. No, he's not in prison. I mean, in the system. He's in New York. He actually helped New York spend the stimulus money because he works for the Apollo Alliance, where Van Jones also worked. They helped design the stimulus package. They have never denied that violence is a bad thing. These people over here, these guys, Van Jones, radical, militant. Now, let me ask you something. If you, since the 1960s, have said, okay, Cloward and Piven, fine, you go your way, but we're over here. If you have your moment and you believe that your hero, your revolutionary leader, Barack Obama, has gone soft and is not going to collapse the system, what makes you think a guy who says, oh, we didn't do enough, what makes you think they won't pick that up now? They'll do it their way. Now, why is the president himself in trouble? Well, let me use him as an example. 9/11 truther. Another guy surrounding the president. Okay, 9/11 truthers. Here's a guy who thought the government was evil enough that it would murder thousands of U.S. citizens. Just blow them up, destroy a building, and kill 3,000 people. Well, gosh, are these people like you? Do you think that? Do you think anyone who does think that we could just kill our own people should be near the president? I mean, he thinks anybody who sits or sat in the chair of the presidency must be evil. He goes to church with a guy who thinks that America intentionally murdered people out throughout history. Put yourself in the mindset of a 9/11 truther. You have access to the President of the United States, the guy who has always been evil. You think now that he was on your side, but now if he goes soft, he's joined the cabal that is capable of murdering people. He promised you a revolution. Do you think it's safe to have an individual like that around the President of the United States? Are you comfortable with that? Well, let me tell you something. You might think this is crazy. All that stuff would never happen. Let me show you what was said on left-wing radio today. Thanks to newsbusters.org, they just posted this. You crazy blank, you right-wingers, do you not understand that the people you hold up as heroes bombed your expletive country? Do you not understand that Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, and Bill O'Reilly are as complicit of the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attack as any one of those expletive 15 who came from Saudi Arabia? Don't you get that? As a guy, I'll tell you someday, as a guy who has to have unbelievable security because of people like that, let me tell you what these people are capable of. By the way, in a related story, why did the White House have the hearing today on the gate crashers? Remember the gate crashers? They pleaded the Fifth. Do you think the White House or Congress had that story planted today, to have those hearings today, to bury it in a busy news day while everyone else was distracted? Please pray for our Secret Service. Make sure that they do their job. Please, dear God, protect our president. Because the president is running out of friends. He already alienated himself from everyone. I mean, he didn't reach out to anybody on the right. He said, I welcome your ideas, and then they gave him the ideas, and he shut them out of the process and said, shut up and sit down. So the right's out. Nobody's going to help him over here. He's in the midst of his radical agenda. Regular Democrats were left in the dust. Creed Deeds was tossed under the bus after running for governor of Virginia. Joe Lieberman dared to oppose health care, and all of a sudden he was the worst person ever. Code Pink now. Code Pink thinks he's a sellout. Barack Obama, Code Pink, thinks he's a sellout. Today they're protesting the White House on his policies. The radical progressives are starting to turn. In fact, this group, the Progressive Change Campaign Committee, is pressuring Russ Feingold to make sure Obama fulfills his public option promise. And progressive groups are now starting to run attack ads on Barack Obama against him.
plan I sign must include an insurance exchange, including a public option to increase competition and keep insurance companies honest.
If a mandate was the solution, we could try that to solve homelessness by mandating everybody buy a house. The reason they don't have a house is they don't have the money.
Okay, that's an attack ad on the president from his friends all over here. It's about to get ugly. But the president isn't going to lay down. He's got to go back to red meat. He has no friends over here. Nobody. All of his friends are here. This is where his power is. So he's redeclared war on Fox News. He's changing up the State of the Union address to add attacks on Dick Cheney and George W. Bush. Why? You've got to feed these people red, bloody meat. They've got to chew on something. And Barney Frank has decided that, well, you know what, we've got to make some changes to the system. Listen to this.
Look, we have a serious constitutional problem. There's been a de facto amendment of the U.S. Constitution in an anti-small d Democratic direction with that 60-vote majority. It is outrageous. And if you look, by the way, it tends to be, in many cases, the senators from those smaller states that aggregate to get up to be the 40 out in the Mountain West, for example. But the answer is, yes, it is time to shut it down. It is anti-democratic. I think we should now be crusading for Democratic senators, maybe some Republicans will join us, to amend the rules of the Senate. God didn't create the filibuster.
Wow.